Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and welcome to the temple. Mazal Tov to Owen for his bar mitzvah. Owen will be called up to the Torah today and become a bar mitzvah. We're all excited for you. And Owen will also lead the service and the reading of Torah and Haftarah and the teaching that comes from that. We begin our service singing together, Ma Yoffe Hayom Shabbat Shalom. How beautiful the day is, it is Shabbat.
Ma Yoffe Hayom Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yoffe Hayom Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
And we turn now to the blessing over the talit, with Owen's parents come to wrap him up in the talit.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu mitzvotav b'tzivanu lehitatef b'tzitzit. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who calls us with mitzvot, commanding us to wrap ourselves in the fringes.
And we turn now to page 172 to sing together Matovu.
Turn to the bottom of page 178. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu mitzvotav b'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who calls us with mitzvot, commanding us to engage with words of Torah. Adonai our God, make the words of your Torah sweet to us and to the house of Israel, your people, that we and our children may be lovers of your name and students of your Torah. We praise you, O God, teacher of Torah, to our people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai hamlamed Torah l'amo Yisrael. Elu devarim she'ein lahem shi'ur. These are things that are limitless, of which a person enjoys the fruit of the world, while the principle remains in the world to come. They are honoring one's father and mother, engaging in deeds of compassion, arriving early for study, morning and evening, dealing graciously with guests, visiting the sick, providing for the wedding couple, accompanying the dead for burial, being devoted in prayer, and making peace among people. But the study of Torah encompasses them all. Please rise and turn to page 195. Baruch hu et Adonai hamvarach. Baruch Adonai hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Praise Adonai, to whom praise is due forever. Praise be Adonai, to whom praise is due now and forever.
לעולם
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer or uvarei choshech oseh shalom uvarei et hakol hama'ir la'aretz v'ladarim alecha barachamim uvtuvo mekadesh b'chol yom tamid ma'aseh v'reishit ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai gulam b'chochma asita mal'ah ha'aretz kinyanecha tibarach Adonai Eloheinu al shavach ma'aseh yadecha v'al milrei or she'asita yafa'arucha selah or Chadash al Tzion Te'ir, v'nizkeh hulanu meherat le'orot. Baruch atah Adonai yotzer me'orot. Please join me. The world is sunlight, restoring the soul, rejoicing the heart, bringing light to the eyes. More welcome than gold, a Torah from heaven. I have no light to give the morning. My Torah, my special human gift, is words. As I bring my words forth from silence, welcome them, you who redeems the sun from darkness. Baruch atah Adonai yotzer me'orot. Turn to page 199. O God, inspiration and guide for all, you have spoken in 1,000 tongues for us to hear. In every land and every age, your children have heard you and imagined you in separate ways. And yet, O God, you are one unifier of humanity. We give thanks for the sages and teachers who bring us understanding of your will. Gratefully, we recall the lawgivers and prophets, the psalmists and sages of Israel, and joyfully remember that from the dawn of Israel's life, we would turn to you and find purpose. May the teachings of our ancestors live on in our minds, and their passion for righteousness stir our hearts. Help us to live so that our daily conduct reveals the beauty and wisdom of your truth. Baruch atah Adonai habocher ba'amo Yisrael ba'ahava. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
May be seated. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol vavcha uv'kol nafshecha uv'kol meodecha, v'hayu hadavarim ha'ele, asher anoki matzavacha hayom all v'vecha, v'shinantan levanecha v'dibarta bam, v'shiddecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha b'derech u'shokpacha u'kumecha, u'kshartam la'ot al yadecha, v'hayu l'totafot beinenecha, u'ktavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha. L'ma'an tiskuru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai, Hitem kedoshim Elohechem, ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, lichyo lachem Elohim, ani Adonai Elohechem.
And you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, your might. And these words which I command you on this day shall be upon your heart, shall be upon your heart. And you shall teach them diligently unto your children, and you shall speak of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up, and when you rise up, and you shall bind them for a sign upon your hand.
page 203 as we read together. Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles as an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come, the song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, for soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. Please rise and turn to page 205 for the tefillah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el, Hagadol, Hagibor, v'Hanara, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, v'Gonei HaKol, v'Zocher Chasdei, Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Geula, Livnei v'Nehem, L'ma'an Shmo Ba'ahava, Melech Ozer, Umashia, Umagen, Baruch atah Adonai, Megan Avraham, v'Ezrat Sarah. Source of all being, we turn to you as did our people in ancient days. They beheld you in the heavens, they felt you in their hearts, and they sought you in their lives. Their quest is ours. Help us to see the wonder of being, give us the courage to search for truth, teach us the path to a better life, so shall we, by our lives and our labors, bring nearer the world we envision, one of justice, freedom, and peace. Baruch atah Adonai, Megan Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah. We read together. You are the open door that beckons me in, peeking around the door frame, I begin to enter into your glory. You move me forward, O Eternal, to step beyond self-made boundaries, lift my foot over the threshold that I might abide with you. In the house of the Eternal, I found my questions, waiting to be posed, they filled me with wonder. Sit with me, Eternal Teacher, encourage my seeking, as I fill my hours with your mitzvot, so shall I be filled. Send me through your doors, stretching up to honor your name, sharing out this wonder, enriching myself in the giving. Blessed are you, Adonai, who gives life to all. Baruch atah Adonai, again. Mechayei Hakol.
נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך, וקרא זה ואמר, קדוש קדוש קדוש, אדוני Baruch atah Adonai, HaKadosh.
To all generations who will make known your greatness, and to all eternity proclaim your holiness. Your praise, O God, shall never depart from our lips. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
Please be seated.
ישמחו במלכותך, שמרי 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 שבת, וקורא עונג שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שמרי 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 שבת, וקורא עונג שבת.
I would like to invite Claire and Elizabeth to lead us with the prayer of Shalom on page 216.
O God, may we never become complacent, faltering in our effort to build a world of peace. Let the nations know and understand that justice and right are better than dominion and conquest. May all come to see that it is not by might nor power, but by your Spirit that life prevails.
Praised are you, Adonai, who blesses your people, Israel, with peace.
Sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, tova uveracha. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la, ya la la la. Sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, tova uveracha.
We all need courage and healing and strength in our lives. The Misha Berach, the prayer for healing and courage and strength, is on page 253. And we turn now to the service of Kriyat Torah, the order of reading from the Torah, on page 244. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Our God is one, Adonai is great. Holy is God's name.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Lecha Adonai Hagedol
And I would like to invite Owen's parents for the blessing before, but first we have the blessing of becoming a bar mitzvah.
Our God and God of our ancestors, I stand before this sacred assembly, proclaiming that I choose to be a part of the people of Israel, a part of its heritage and its fate, bound by its commandments. Give me strength to follow your path and to be a source of pride to my family, my community, and my people. How greatly we are blessed, how good is our portion, how pleasant our lot, and how beautiful our heritage. Blessed we are when we sanctify your name and declare, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Owen, you want to uncover the Torah before your parents say the blessing. Hopefully the yad is still pointing at the right direction.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Havarach.
Baruch Adonai Havarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Havarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol avim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. You want to point the microphone towards you, Owen.
V'asu et haifod zahav techelet v'argaman tola'at shani v'sheish mosar maaseh choshev shetei chetefot chovrot yichilo el shanei kitsotav v'chubar v'cheshev afudato asher alive k'maasehu bimenu yichet zahav techelet v'argaman tola'at shani v'sheish mosar V'lakachta et shetei avnei shoham ufi tachta aleihem shemot b'nei Yisrael.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata betochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Havarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Shisha mishmotam al ha'even ha'echat ve'et shemot hashisha hanotarim al ha'even ha'shenit ketoladotam. Maaseh charash even pituche chotam tefatach et shetei ha'avanim al shemot b'nei Yisrael. Musabot mishpatzot zahav ta'aseh otam v'samta et shetei ha'avanim al kitfot ha'ephod Avnei Zikaron Lifnei Yisrael, V'nasa Aharon et Shemotam Lifnei Adonai Al Shetei Katefa V'Zikaron. V'asita Mishpatzot Zahav Ushtei Sharsharot Zahav Tahor Migbalot Ta'aseh Otam Maaseh Avot V'natata et Sharsharot Ha'avotot Al HaMishpatzot. V'asita Choshen Mishpat Maaseh Choshev K'maaseh Ephod Ta'asenu Zahav Tchelet V'argaman V'tola'at Shani V'sheish Mosar Ta'aseh Oto.
And you can follow the translation in this blue handout.
Make the ephod of blue, purple, and of gold, and of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and of finely twisted linen, the work of skilled hands. It is to have 2 shoulder pieces attached to 2 of its corners, so it can be fastened. Its skillfully woven waistband is to be like it, of 1 piece with the ephod, and made with gold, and with blue, and purple and scarlet yarn, and with finely twisted linen. Take 2 onyx stones and engrave on them the name of the sons of Israel, in the order of their birth, 6 names on one stone, and the remaining 6 on the other. Engrave the names of the sons of Israel on the 2 stones, the way a gem cutter engraves a seal. Then mount the stones in the gold filigree settings and fasten them on the shoulder pieces of the ephod, as memorial stones for the sons of Israel. Aaron is to bear the names on his shoulders as a memorial before the Eternal. Make the gold filigree settings and 2 braided chains of pure gold like a robe. attach the chains to the settings. Fashion a breastplate for making decisions, the work of skilled hands. Make it like the ephod of gold and of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and of finely twisted linen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu torat emet v'chayei olam natah b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Izot haTorah she'asa Moshe livnei bnei Yisrael. Izot haTorah she'asa Moshe livnei bnei Yisrael. Al pi Adonai biyad Moshe, biyad Moshe. Al pi Adonai biyad Moshe, biyad Moshe. Zot haTorah asher sa Moshe livnei bnei Yisrael. Zot haTorah asher sa Moshe livnei bnei Yisrael.
And now the Haftarah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar bin v'im tovim v'ratza v'divrehem hana'amarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'Torah uv Moshe avdo uv Yisrael amo uvin v'yeh ha'emet v'tzedek. Atah v'nadam haged et bait Yisrael et habayit v'yikalmu me'avonotehem umadedu et tachnit. V'im nichlamu mikol asher asu surat habayit al rot utchunato umotzaav umovaav v'chol tsirotav v'et kol kukotav v'chol tsirotav v'chol torotav. Hoda otam uchtov la'enehem v'yishmaru et kol tsirato v'et kol kukotav v'asu otam. Zot Torat Habayit Al Rosh Hahar Kol Givulo Saviv Saviv Kodesh Kadeshim Hine Zot Torat Habayit. Ve'e le midot hamizbeach ba'ama be'amot ama vatofach v'chek ha'ama ve'ama rochav gav hamizbeach. Umechek ha'aretz ad ha'azara ha'tachtona shitayim amot v'rochav ama echat Umei ha'azara haktana ad ha'azara hagdola arba amot v'rochav ha'ama. The ha'arel arba amot umei ha'ariel almala hakranot arba. The ha'ariel shetem esrei orech vishtem esrei rochav ravua el arba'at riva'av. The ha'azara arba esrei orech Ba'arba esrei rochav el arba'at riva'av v'hagvul saviv utah chatzi ha'ama v'hachek la ama saviv uma'alotehu panot kadim.
And the translation is here in the blue handout.
Son of man, describe the temple to the people of Israel, that they may be ashamed of their sins. Let them consider its perfection, and if they are ashamed of all they have done, make known to them the design of the temple, its arrangement, its exits and entrances, its whole design, and all its regulations and laws. Write these down before them, so that they may be faithful to its design and follow all its regulations. This is the law of the temple. All the surrounding area on top of the mountain will be most holy, such as the law of the temple. These are the measurements of the altar in long cubits, that cubit being a cubit and a handbreadth. Its gutter is a cubit deep and a cubit wide, with a rim of one span around the edge, and this is the height of the altar. From the gutter on the ground up to the lower ledge that goes around the altar, it is 2 cubits high, and the ledge is a cubit wide. From this lower ledge to the upper ledge that goes around the altar, it is 4 cubits high, and that ledge is also a cubit wide. Above that, the altar hearth is about 4 cubits high, and 4 horns project upward from the hearth. The altar hearth is square, 12 cubits long and 12 cubits wide. The upper ledge is also square, 14 cubits long and 14 cubits wide. All around the altar is a gutter of 1 cubit with a rim of half a cubit. The steps of the altar face east. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam sur kol ha'olamim sadik b'chol harorot ha'el ha'ne'eman ha'omer ve'oseh hamdaber unkayem shechol devarav emet v'tzedek. Al ha'torah v'al ha'avodah hanvi'im v'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh. Shenatata lanu et Adonai Eloheinu likdusha v'limnucha lechavod ultifaret. Al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anachnu modim lach umbarchim otach yiparach shimcha b'fi kol chai tamid leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai mikadesh hashabbat.
Amen. And now your speech.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thanks to everyone watching from home and here right now. My Torah portion is about how Aaron, a religious leader, wears a shoulder piece holding stones with the names of the sons of Israel engraved on them. This shows he cares about his history and respects the 12 sons of Israel, but not just them. These stones represent all the people of Israel, all the tribes, and just the people he was in his country. To me, this is like our community today. In some ways, our rabbis, as well as other leaders, not just religious ones, are important and represent us, and they help us and support the people they are leading, as well as representing them in these hard times. These make a good leader, one that cares for us, but not just leaders, other people like other professions that need to care about us over themselves, like a doctor that needs to make you feel better, or a lawyer that needs to defend you in court. These people are just as important and need to put you over themselves as much as a leader does. To me, being a bar mitzvah means I will be part of the community, not just a kid that was forced to come by their parents, but another member of the community. Whether that means helping others to be part of the community and learn our religion, or just participating in events. This is what being a bar mitzvah means to me. This year has been a crazy one, and because of this pandemic, there is not much to focus on other than this service. No big party or family from out of town, but I think this makes it more meaningful. I'm thinking about the service more and the actual meaning of the service. This makes the service feel more meaningful and important. The bar mitzvah project I chose was to bring bags of food and warm clothes to the temple to be dropped off to the hungry that need it. I chose this because I thought it would be most meaningful and helpful to our community. We hope this will make some people's days and help the people who need these. Now I'd like to thank some of the people for everything they've done for me. First of all, I would like to thank my parents for supporting me the whole way through and giving me everything I needed throughout this journey. Whether it be school or home, or even at camp when you send me letters, I always look forward to. Thank you so much for everything you've done and taught me. Of course, I want to thank my sisters for always being here with me. Whether we are wrestling and fighting or watching a movie together, I know they love me and I love them too. Next, I'd like to thank my grandma and grandpa for always being kind and cheerful and raising everyone's spirits. You always support me through anything and everything, no matter what I choose to do. Next, I'd like to thank Grandma Jo and Aunt Shannon. Aunt Shannon, even during COVID, we found a way to have dinner together, and you always make us happy. I always look forward to the next time I see you. Grandma Jo, you are super sweet and loving, and I can't wait to see you again. I want to thank all the friends that I've made at religious school, and you guys have been with me, learning Hebrew beside me, and I thank you for that. Lastly, I would like to thank all my religious school teachers and rabbis. First, Samantha Ogburn. She has been the one teaching me my Torah portion, hot Torah portion, and all the blessings. I want to thank all the religious school teachers from kindergarten to 7th grade for teaching me Hebrew and about our history. Finally, I would like to thank the rabbis. They always work super hard and lead all of our services, along with helping us with anything we need. They are always super nice to them, and I thank them for that. Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and thank you for listening.
It's now the parents, yes.
Good morning, everyone, and Owen, congratulations. You did a great job today. We are so proud of you. We know you worked very hard, and you had some excellent teachers and leaders to help you along in your journey to being a bar mitzvah. We would like to say thank you to Rabbi David and all the temple teachers for providing such a wonderful place for Owen and all the other children to learn and love Judaism.
We also want to say thank you to all of our friends and family who are safely celebrating with us today online. We wish you all were here today with us to celebrate with Owen, and but at least you were able to join via online, whether it's Zoom or YouTube or the Facebook page. We can't wait to see you all once again when it's safe to do so. It was hard for us to imagine this day 13 years ago as we held you in our arms for the first time. But here we are today on your birthday. So happy birthday, Owen. Congratulations.
You might have not imagined this pandemic version of a bar mitzvah when you started your Jewish studies, but this ceremony is a beacon of light that allows us to continue to celebrate life and to count our blessings. You are surrounded by people who love you and will do anything for you to help you succeed.
We are so proud of you and how you led the service today, this morning. You have grown into to be a wonderful young man, and I'm sure that will continue as the years progress. You've also been a very caring big brother and a great companion for your friends at school and at camp. We can't wait to participate in more of your magical life moments to come.
You worked so hard not only on your bar mitzvah, but also on your mitzvah project, providing meals and collecting warm clothes and other items of need for the homeless. It's this hard work ethic and caring nature that will continue to guide you and provide a life full of meaning and happiness.
We love you. Mazel tov.
Mazel tov, Owen, and thank you for leading the service so beautifully and with such confidence. And thank you for what you taught us from your Torah portion and what you've learned from your bar mitzvah. I want to add a few things on what you said and what your parents said to you as lessons from this process that was not an easy one, and as you said, was doing a very crazy year of becoming a bar mitzvah. And first, it has to do with something that seems maybe insignificant in your mitzvah project. You took upon yourself, as your parents mentioned and as you mentioned, to provide meals for homeless people in the streets of Louisville, people that are not in a shelter, and you also collected a lot of winter essentials for them and socks and other things. I actually got to see what you left. It was on the stage when I saw it. I don't know if you left it there or not, but it was there and it was very impressive. But there was one part of it that really struck me. Usually in the process of creating the project, the negotiating of when to bring it and how to bring it and what exactly is needed is, to be honest, I know it's not the politically correct thing to say, usually it's between the mother of the bat or the bar mitzvah and me. But that was not your case. You are the one negotiating everything. You are the one writing me emails, making sure when do we need it, when would be the best time, when should you bring it, and you told me when you're planning to bring it and everything. I think altogether about 10 or 12 emails went there. And that's the unusual part that I want you to remember from that. You took ownership on your mitzvah project from A to Z, at least from what I've seen. And that tells me how ready you are to become a bar mitzvah, because that's the idea of becoming an adult. It's not only knowing the Hebrew and leading the service, but it's also taking responsibility and knowing that if it's your project from the beginning till the end. And that was very special. There's one other thing that I want you, and I hope that you will take to life from your bar mitzvah experience. You did great today. You didn't do even one small mistake in the Hebrew. You know, before the pandemic, we used to be together with the bar mitzvah student here on the same pulpit, so if they got nervous, if they did a mistake, we can be hovering over them. So it makes me very nervous that you're on a different pulpit, and if you lose your place or something happens, I can't really help you, especially with the masks and everything, but you didn't need any help. Now, it was not like that in day one. Learning with Samantha, who's a great teacher, you started with one verse of the Torah and then another verse in the Torah and then one more and then one verse of the Haftarah and then another one, and you build it stone by stone. And it's a great lesson from life, for life. If you take a project seriously and you put the effort, and you put a lot of effort there, you are every Sunday and every Wednesday, and you rehearsed also at home, and you had it already. I heard you about 2 months ago or 6 weeks ago, I don't remember when did we encounter on Zoom. You already knew everything. You were fully confident and you did an excellent job, which means you worked very hard, but you did it little by little. It's not only the 4 years of Hebrew school and the 7 years of religious school, it's also the work that you put in this year. And that's a great lesson for life. Any project, no matter how big it is, if you take it stage by stage, you can overcome it if it's important enough for you. And that's another lesson for life as an adult. And the last thing is, one of the hardest thing in this crazy year is, as a teacher, I don't get to see my students in person, and most of the time I don't get to see them at all, because most of the time you guys keep your Zoom windows with the video closed, so I get to hear you, but I don't get to see you. But the few times that I watched you, you are always smiling. You were not nervous, you were smiling, you had the same smile you kind of have today, sometimes even a bigger one, and hopefully you will take that attitude of smiling even at things that are kind of chores. I mean, studying Hebrew is not great fun, but taking it with a smile makes everything look much better. Hopefully soon we will be able to see Jennifer singing always with a smile. I don't know how much she's really enjoying it, but she is smiling, and hopefully that would be your experience as well. We have some gifts for you here. After that, when you stay for pictures, don't forget to pick them up. We have here a special, beautiful artist handmade chai for you, in appreciation for the Mitzvah project that you've done. We have a tzedakah box here for you that you will continue to do many wonderful things. And we have the entire Hebrew Bible, all 39 books of the Bible, so you can enjoy that, and don't forget that afterward. One last thing before you get to sit down, that is a blessing for you, the priestly benediction that we were told by Moses and Aaron to always bless our children with. Your stomach hurts? Sit down. So the blessing goes like that. Yevarchecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha. May Adonai our God always bless you and guard you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha ve'yechuneka. May God's face always shine upon you, and may God always deal graciously with you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'yasem lecha shalom. May God grant you shalom, wellness and wholeness and peace. And we say amen. And we want to sing for you the song that you chose as your anthem, and that is Oseh Shalom.
Oseh Shalom bimrama, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael.
to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people, whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation, whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. On this Shabbat, we remember especially Marian Morgulin, John A. DeAngelo, Shirley Tanchester Reese, Florence Shorin, Wanda Goodbab, Natina Tina Kasdan, Shirley Katz, Nellie Gardner, Betty Baker, Ella Amburg, Charles Perlman, David Goodman, Isaac Washburn, Paul Carroll, Maurice M. Weiss, Melvin Keisler, Louis Friedman, Fanny Foreman, Rose Bogoslavsky, Riva Gurevich, Harriet Dichter, Sandra Friedson, Lloyd Schuster, Benjamin Colby, Alfred Joseph Jr., Max P. Goldberg, Walter Zukov, Rosalie Morris, Theodore Myers, Raymond Smith, Arthur M. Mickler, Sophie Loeb, Philip Katz, David Gradman, Janet Frocht, Israel Rosenberg, and in recent days, Roberta Wasserstrom, Shoshana Katz, Martin Zimov, B. Dorf. We think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. And with the blessed memories of our loved ones in our hearts, we rise as we turn to page 294 for the Mourner's Kaddish. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהא שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפואר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלל שמי דקודשה בריחו, לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, ואמירן בעלמה ואמרו אמן. יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. זיכרונם לברכה. May the memory of our loved ones come to be a blessing and a benediction to us all. Amen. Our closing song is Oseh Shalom. We ask God to bring peace and wellness and wholeness on all humanity.
Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imiru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imiru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imiru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imiru amen.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Mazal Tov, Owen. You did a wonderful job. May you continue to go from strength to strength. Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom. Mazel tov.
Mazel Tov.